I'm Gail, and welcome to Southern Glance. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy making coconut cream pie. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, and ring the bell and to be notified when the next video comes out. We'll probably be doing possum pie next. So anyway, today we're going to make coconut cream pie, and I don't know about you, but I had one of the best recipe ever for coconut cream pie. So I started collecting recipes. I probably had maybe 20 recipes. But then to narrow it down, you know, it takes time and energy, money. So I finally found one that I thought I'm going to try. And it was from actually my very old, new Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. So this is with a little tweak, and I'm going to show you, and I'll also have the recipe down at the bottom, but I'm going to show you how I do. So the first ingredient is sugar. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of sugar, but if you can see, I'm not putting in 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to put in a little bit less because we're going to add more coconut to make it more coconutty cream pie. So here goes the 3/4 cup sugar. We've got 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and this is all going into a pan so that we're going to cook it on the stove. And have to just get that cornstarch out. Then comes the salt. This is just so we can get all of that out. Get all that out. Then comes 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to just whisk that together. It's just dry ingredients. But before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and prepare our eggs, because we're going to have those eggs ready. Whenever we put this on the stove to cook, we're going to be constantly stirring all the time. So we're going to have 3 eggs, and I'm going to put the egg yolks in a little container, and I'm going to put the egg whites in our mixer because we're going to use those for the meringue. So let me move this out of the way just for the time being. And we're going to separate our eggs. Whoops. And the egg yolk whites go in here. And this is going to be for the meringue. And then the egg yolks, get that part, in here. So that's 1 egg. And here's 2 eggs. And we're trying not to touch it, but you always get your hands really dirty with this. There's 2, and then the 3rd one. Let's just go ahead and separate that egg. And we've almost got it done. Okay, and then of course we're just going to wash our hands real quick like. And we're going to put these egg whites right back here and just let them set for a while. Now we've got our egg yolks. We're going to put them right next to the stove. Oh, and before I forget, I've already cooked a pie shell. I've just bought one from the store because I didn't want to have to make it. But the best ones always come whenever you make it. And so I fluted the edges of it right here, and it's nice and brown, so it's ready to go. You don't always have to just let it cool, because a lot of times I don't. I'm in a hurry and I'm just wanting to get it done. So bring this back. This is our dry ingredients. This is the sugar, cornstarch, and salt. I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. And it says slowly. That was not very slowly. And I'm just going to mix it. But when we put it on the stove, this is all we're going to cook right now. Just those 4 things, and we're going to cook it on the stove. We're going to get it really bubbly. As soon as it comes to a bubble, then and starts kind of sort of a slow boil, but not really. We're going to cook it for an additional 2 minutes. Then we're going to take it off, and we're going to add those eggs. But keep on watching, because there's a certain way that we add those eggs. Okay, here we go. We're going to take it to the oven or to the stove. And we're going to continue stirring. And this is going to take a long time So we're going to speed up this tape now while this is stirring. It's going to have to first of all come to a boil, well, bubble, and then we're going to cook it an additional 2 minutes, stirring constantly the whole time. So get your arms ready, and this is also on medium-high heat. Okay, so we had now let it cook just for about 2 minutes, and it's still kind of bubbling. But now this is the tricky part. We've got to add the 3 eggs that we just did, but we don't want to put the eggs straight into this mixture, because if we do, it might, I think I had gotten an eggshell in there. It's very important not to get the eggshells in there. So anyway, we're just going to introduce the egg slowly to the mixture by doing a little bit of this and sloshing it around, and then back and forth. And we're going to do this 5 or 6 times just to kind of get the eggs used to being in the hot mixture, and so that it won't introduce them too fast. And now we're about ready to pour the rest of them in, and this time we are going to go kind of slow, and we're stirring. Now, whenever you stir with a whisk, it makes everything so smooth. Now, as I'm doing this, I also want to tell you a secret. The secret to having really, really good coconut cream pie. First of all, put in more coconut than it calls for, and less sugar, because the coconut's sweetened. I've already told you that. The second one is really, I came upon this by accident, is eat the pie while it's warm. You'll have to try it. If you think that you like it cold, just try it while it's warm and see if you like it better. It is so good warm. Okay, so now I have put the eggs in here, and we're going to cook it another 2 minutes. And we're going to whisk it the whole time. Okay, the 2 minutes is done. We are still whisking even as we have taken it off the heat, and we're going to dump in 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're just going to let that butter just melt, because it's super hot and it won't take very long. While I'm doing this, I wanted to show you these little pot holders, because I'm going to send some links down in the bottom so that you can kind of press on. We're trying to become affiliates of Amazon also, and some other places. So if you would go ahead and click on those links, it might help us to get just a little bit of cash or whatever, but I appreciate it. Anyway, the pot holders are wonderful. I've been using these for years and years. These are gigantic, and it's kind of what we grew up with, but this is a special loom, and I'll put the link down below. There's going to be another video that I hope to do about how to make those, the designs and everything. So anyway, the butter is almost melted. I don't see any more butter. So now we're going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm not going to measure it, because I imagine if I measured it, I'll probably put in 2 or 3 teaspoons. Because vanilla makes everything taste better. So, and we're going to whisk that. And now we're ready for the coconut. So here's the cup of coconut. But like I said, we're not going to just put in the cup of coconut. We're going to add to it. So I would probably say at least a heaping, maybe that much coconut. Let's put in a little bit more. There. Okay, so you get the picture. Just go ahead and put in that coconut, and don't just keep it to 1 cup. But if you do add more coconut, decrease on the sugar, because then it will be too sweet if you don't. If you add both the sugar and the coconut. All right, I have to show this to you. There's a lump in the coconut. We're trying to get that out. See, look at that. It's very creamy tasting. So if you don't have your oven on, go ahead and just set your oven for 350 because we're going to make meringue after this. So now we're just going to go ahead and put this coconut in, the mixture in here, in the cooked pie shell. And we're going to get every bit of that we can because see, there's a bunch of stuff still in there. I can remember my mom telling us whenever we cooked at home, she said, make sure you get every bit that you can. So we're going to make sure that we're getting every bit of this. See how good that looks? Now I've also thought, it might be an interesting idea to kind of double and a half or double this recipe and then make little individual little pies using muffin pans. Might be an idea. So I think I'm going to try that, but I haven't yet. Okay. So now we've got all of this, our goody stuff in the pie, and we're going to work on our meringue. Now, just to let you know, the meringue is going to be really loud, and we're going to kind of deaden the sound a little bit. But I'm going to put this over here, not on where we had the heat, but I'm going to just set it, and we're going to get our situation set for the meringue. Okay, I'm going to move some of these dishes out of the way. And now we're set for the meringue. All right, here was our egg whites. We're going to just whip those and we're going to beat those until they are fluffy and white and they form a peak. Now in between that, we're going to be putting in 1/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, about a half a teaspoon of vanilla. That probably means about a teaspoon for me. And we're going to put in 6 tablespoons of sugar. So are we ready to go? We're going to get this is a thing for beating egg whites. And we're going to get it going fast. And then I'm going to work on getting the sugar. Okay, let's just see how it looks. I've already added the vanilla and the cream of tartar. And let's see, if I pull this out, see how it stands up? I can't believe that's just egg whites. Okay, I think it needs to go just a little bit more. It needs to form a little bit more of a peak, but it's almost done. I'm going to go ahead and put in 6 tablespoons of sugar, but I'm going to do it gradually while it's going. That looks pretty good. I'm going to let you see it. See, look at how it connects with this beater. And then we're going to spread it on top of the pie, and we're going to cook it for about 12 minutes at 350 degrees. Let me get all the goody part off of here. Kind of shake it off, scrape it off, however I can get it off. And then we're going to put a little bit of sugar on top of the meringue. Let me move this. And now you'll be able to see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and put this meringue on top. Oh, it looks really good. And we're going to just kind of very gently spread it. We're going to make sure it touches the sides of the pie shell. Oh, doesn't that look great? Now, like I said, whenever it comes out of the oven, maybe wait 5 or 10 minutes or so, but serve it warm, just to see what it tastes like. It's like a warm custard. It's very, very good. Now, some people put toasted coconut on the top of the meringue. You can do that. I like to put just a little bit of sugar, not much, but just a little bit. And we got that all the way to the edge. And I still have a lot of meringue. This makes a lot of meringue. Now don't be surprised if it takes 5 minutes for your meringue to stiffen up, because I think for me it takes maybe even longer than that, maybe 6 or 7 minutes. I've never timed it, but it just seems like it takes a long time. Depends on your mixer also, so if you have a hand mixer, it's going to take a little bit longer probably. Okay, we're almost done. Have to get all the goody stuff in here. Now remember that if you like this video, just come on back, and because we're going to be doing some more videos about Southern food or foods that I grew up with, and I just think it's really restaurant style food. It's really good food. So just kind of come on back. We're going to do some arts and crafts too. Okay, so the pie has been in the oven for about 12-15 minutes, something like that, at 350. And we're going to get it out of the oven, and I think it's looking really good. And what we're going to do is immediately after we get it out of the oven, we're going to take it up to the firefighters that service our area, because we believe in supporting them and the police, and so we just want to do whatever we can because they put their lives on the line for us. So here, are you ready? Here we go. Oh, it looks so good. Look at this. And there is a hot, fresh coconut cream pie, freshly made. And we hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.